Oh, there she is there, the wee girl. A new toy. It's not made for gravel, this one though, but a little bit excited. Not a bad looking set of wheels. Got to find somebody to actually fit all the parts next. No issue. There's nothing to see. Slight miscalculation. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Problem solved. Yeah, I see both Math and AD a bit like family. Not only have they just been part of a team, they've really embraced me and taken me on, and growing up they're helping me become a better person, and you know, they've been probably good role models for me as well growing up. So yeah, it's great to have them part of the team.
Smart ass little nuisance he was, to be fair.
He had a couple of cows and his father gave him a decision. They had to sell the cows to be slaughtered if he wanted a rally car, and Hayden, that was a pretty tough decision, but the cows died.
Like some of the stories the guys can tell you about him at rallies trying to get other people to give him a ride to here or there because he didn't want to go with his dad. And yeah, the early days were by far the best. We were enjoying what we were doing. We had a really good bunch of people helping us, and the successes were probably better when he was winning rallies back then because it was unexpected.
Congratulations for everything that he's done. He's backed himself 100% all the time and carried on through and got the results.
You know, they've been a massive part of the team since day one, and obviously there's a bit of the changing of the guard now with our new guys here. But that's not to say they're still not a part. They are still helping in the background, and they'll continue to be part of it going forward. Yeah, like the group of people we've got here, they haven't really come as such from a motorsport background. They've all had a passion for motorsport, but they're all normal, down-to-earth Kiwis. You know, from university, they've been working normal jobs. Locals here, you know, we've picked the right people who have got that passion, have got that work ethic. They believe in what we're doing, and together as a Kiwi team, we're moving forward towards that. Yeah, well, a big part of what we're doing here is about being as much 100% Kiwi as we possibly can. Yeah, there might come a time, you know, in that future where with what we want to do, there might have to be a little bit more international influence, but we want to keep it as much Kiwi as we possibly can, and that's something I'm very passionate about.
Hayden Paddon had just been in his office and he's looking for an engineer for his new projects. An hour later, Hayden sent me an email introducing himself. The day after that, we were having a phone call. A week after that, it was the interview, and that was it. That was the job.
Jack, the mad scientist, yeah, he's a good mate actually, but he's also a very, very clever engineer, very, very clever mind, and he's sort of helping and being involved with both Matt and Rory in terms of helping us develop ideas.
Actually went to an event in Portugal where he was rallying in the Super 2000 class, and he actually won that event. Since then I've followed what he was doing and where he got to, and then it's pretty cool now to be where we're at.
So the Pinnacle program approached the Otago Polytech where I studied, and sent out an application for all the previous students. So I was lucky enough to be chosen to go up to the South Canterbury Rally last year. That really set my passion off, you know, ignited something, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well Mike, he'll be one of the key men here on the floor in the workshop, and obviously we've been lucky to be working with Mike Pittams for the last 3 years on the Hyundai, and he is one of the biggest people that's made the biggest difference with our car in terms of it being fast and reliable, and So he's a very, very important part to what we're doing, and we're lucky to have him and his family relocate from Tauranga. You know, it's a big commitment from his side, but you know, this is a passion that we're all sharing together. Yeah, I'm trying to help out the younger generation, the new people in the sport, because that is the future of our sport. We've got to think long term, and we need these young guys to come through the ranks. It's quite a simple sport, but it's also quite complicated. It's really basically getting from point A to point B as quick as you can. Many different stages, many different corners. Whoever's got the quickest time at the end of the accumulated from all the stages is the winner. Well, driving in New Zealand is actually my favourite thing in the world.
There you go, you've got a 3D shadow now.
So of course we targeted our favourite rallies of the year, Otago, Whangarei, Timaru, and you know, nowadays anything we compete in, we're there to win. Obviously enjoy ourselves, but we're there to win as well. I love it. Best roads in the world here. It's like a roller coaster. No matter whether you're in the deep south or up north in Whangarei, it's all the same all the way in between. Yeah, it was a good rally. I love it every time we go there. It gets better and better every year, and a few little technical dramas. But you know, again, you know, our team makes a difference between us finishing rallies or not. So they kept us on the road, kept the car going, and were able to achieve an almost perfect result.
The roads are a lot harder this year. I think it's been a very dry summer here, so it's going to be pretty brutal on tyres. There's warm weather in the forecast, so I think tyre management's going to be a big thing this weekend, which we haven't probably accounted here for quite some time.
You know, you definitely relax more when you come to local events, and that's not taking anything away from the local competitors or anything. It's just that you don't have the pressure of a global manufacturer on your shoulders, if you like. So you can just sort of lower the shoulders and just let the driving do the talking, and just let what naturally happens.
Good morning. Just unfortunately the last stage, the front left drive shaft popped out, so obviously going to three-wheel drive, which makes it a bit tricky, but luckily the last stage of the loop, so we're back here and the guys will get it fixed up, no problems at all.
Got on the complete axle ready to go, so.
Yeah, Whangarei is a tough one because the services are very short, 20-minute services, and you only have one in the middle of the day, which is shorter than normal. So in that 20-minute service, you're dismantling it, you're trying to assess why it's happened, try and come up with a solution to fix the problem, and then of course replace the part.
So yeah, this is a reasonably important part. It's what fits the drive to the wheels, so this part fell out on the splines, and then of course there was no drive, so we're effectively three-wheel drive. So very, very small problem, but it has reasonable consequences.
Do you want a span of the shocks? Span of this stuff?
5 minutes.
You know, AP4 is very much a New Zealand developed car, and we're all learning on the go. So there's always these little things, always new things as well that keep coming in. But our guys, they adapt to the situation, they get their hands in and they just get it sorted.
About 6 left.
And in first place, the car number 1, Hayden Paddon and Samantha Bray. Ineos International Rally on Friday 2019.
Very nice. Drive, 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 drive.
So I'm away for most of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So today then, obviously you've already done that. Do you want to get that airline threaded downstairs? And maybe, while it is a bit warmer perhaps today, maybe finish that water system on the truck. Yep. I'm not sure if you want to do a little bit of stuff on cars today. Anything else from your guys' side? So definitely one of the biggest challenges we've got with this project is the financial side. We're talking a project here over 3 years of a shade under $4 million. At the moment I'm still $500,000 short this year. So I've got to fill that void, and then it's year 2 and year 3 as well. Yeah. So the reason I thought I'd want to catch up with you to see what your position was on it here as well. Yep. Again, it's just really if there was potential. All right, how's things? Good, thank you.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to let it go.
Yeah, see what you're thinking. I trust you. So cool.
Basically it's saying don't disclose our info, so that seems pretty generic.
It needs to be both ways.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I think it's another thing to make things complicated, isn't it?
It's an FIA thing, so
yeah.
We have to ship those rules and regulations.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen anymore. Everyone just wants to buy the parts off the shelf and pay the bill and get on with it, but that's boring. Where's the fun in that? You want to engineer something, you want to actually do something different.
So I'm very proud to announce that we are pushing the envelope and developing one of the first EV rally cars in the world, set to see the stages in 2020. Our car will be based on a Hyundai Kona, and it is designed and built here in our Highlands Motorsport Park facility with one of the best test tracks and testing facilities on our back doorstep.
I'm always scared of failure, and well, I guess with this project there's just so many unknowns. I know we won't fail because we'll work day and night, and the guys we've got here I know will do the same, that we make sure we don't fail, but I think that's the biggest thing that you're scared of in anything nowadays that you're doing, driving, building a new car, whatever. The biggest fear is always failure.
One aspect of particular importance to me with this project is that our car is going to make noise, and it's going to make a lot of it. It won't be the same sound that we currently identify with an EV car, and it's something that we're working on that will be quite unique. For many reasons, motorsport needs to have an element of sound.
Yeah, obviously being on the other side of the world, we're a long way away. I think that's why as Kiwis we do have to use a bit of Kiwi ingenuity. We have to think outside the box and do things for ourselves, but maybe in the last 10, 20 years a lot of that's been lost in our culture nowadays. You know, I remember watching the films and the stories from my father of Burt Munro, John Britton, Bruce McLaren. All these Kiwis that were really innovative and did new things. They developed their own ideas and they created a bit of a tradition, if you like, going forward. And there's a lot of unknowns. We're going to have a lot of challenges along the way. We're probably going to have some people that don't like what we're doing, but it sets us apart from anyone else in the world. That's how I want to be remembered, that Paddon Rallysport was the first one to do this and get it right.